Uh-oh, really?
What is up, everybody? Look who's up here. I got a bunch of awesome ladies up here, and I got more awesome ladies in the basement. Let's get them up here. All
right.
Are you guys ready? Who's ready?
I think it's Glorious Life ready.
Glorious Life, are you ready?
Okay.
Thumbs up. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hello,
Carol.
my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys all doing?
Doing good. I am so glad you're here. I'm honored for you to be here. That's awesome.
Well, I'm honored that you asked me.
Let's see who's in the chat before we get started here. We're waiting on a couple of more folks coming in to be up here on the screen with us. Let's start out. Kaylee's here. What's up, Kaylee? How's it going, lady? Let me scroll down. Mary Jones, welcome to the show. Nice to see you. Meant to be RV, and of course she's here. I see her right here up here on the screen. Well, Nellie's here too. She's in the chat and up here too. That's awesome. She's in two places at once. RV with G, what's up, brother? Nice to see ya. Vanderella, what's up, girl? Let's see. Scroll down a little bit. Jojo, thanks for coming in, Jojo. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Let's see. What am I missing? Anybody?
Blaine
Rayleigh, hello. How are you? Thanks for coming in, my friend. I got awesome channels up here. We've got a couple more on the way. One waiting in the basement, and we'll get started talking here in just a minute. But I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves one at a time, the ones that are up here, and as we bring up the others, they can let you know. Van Life Rocks just walked in the door. Get a stamp on that hand, Van Life Rocks. All right.
Rocks.
All right, let's let these guys introduce themselves. Gracie Seeking Adventures here too, Chasing America. What's going on? Right next to me, we have who?
Me? Oh, I'm Teresa with Meant to Be RVing. So good, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Gina.
I'm glad you're here. And next to her, we have.
I'm Lucy with Whoa Nelly RV Adventures.
Yeah. And down below me here, we have.
It's Carol with Glorious Life on Wheels.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Carol. And we just lost who we was going to introduce next. She'll be back.
She'll be back.
She'll be back. That was Lily from Journey via Lily Lynn's. And if my mods, all these people up here will drop their links throughout the show, that would be so cool. We're waiting also on, I believe Box Van D is going to try to make it in. Johnny's Journey will be here in a bit. So we can get started talking here. Let's see who else is in the chat that I've missed. Have I missed anybody? I see a lot of family members out here. What's happening? Meant to be RV moderator. Now I'm honored.
That's the other half, Mike.
All right, Mike. What's up, Mike? Thanks for being here. Let's see what's going on here. All right. I think we're caught up a little bit on the chat.
Yeah, you had Little House Land Cloud Adventures come in and Purple Tube.
Purple Tube's here too. What's up, Purple
America?
Tube? Little House Land Cloud Adventures. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I think I met you over at Johnny's Journey. Speaking of Johnny's Journey. That's awesome. We should have a good discussion tonight. A lot of things going on. And this is the best time of the year, I think, to talk about stuff like this. Actually, it's good to have this all. Justin and Christina RV Van Life just walked in the door. What's going on, Justin and Christina and Michael? Nice to see you guys. Hope you're staying warm in Canada.
And Desert Adventures in Arizona.
Hey, guys. How's it going? We got 12 people in here right now. Yes. That's what I like. You guys share this out if you can. Everybody that can share it out, that would be awesome. The more we have, the more fun we have. And we get to know some new people that way, maybe. And tonight we're talking about what was it? Oh, being humble. I forgot what we were talking about. Being humble. it means a lot of things to a lot. It means a lot of different things to different people, I think. And we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. Oh, there's Journey via Lily Lynn's in the chat. Does she need a link?
It looks like she's saying connection won't hold.
Oh, okay. Connection won't hold.
She's going to flap her gums down there.
Well, and earlier today we were talking about how RV life or van life has maybe brought being humble to you, or what has brought being humble to you. You ladies want to talk on that? That would be great. What about you, Teresa?
Well, I'll tell you what. One thing I can tell you is I know when you're in a room of humble people, it's because you kind of get kind of relaxed. You just feel comforting and welcoming. Like now, being with you ladies here tonight, and as we were even chatting back door, for me, it was just really comforting. So, it's just that feeling that y'all have put off and just let me relax and be relaxed around you guys. So, but as far as what for me maybe set me off on my humble journey, and it's something I'm learning all the time. I work on myself a lot, knowing that we are all human and we all can fail at any time, but just trying to be forgiving of others as well. But I think what started me off, it wasn't so much my RV life as well as, for me, I had a child that was raised with disabilities, and just watching how she went about her life and treated others taught me. She taught me a lot by her disabilities, that she still had all these other abilities, just a big heart. So I had to learn that, I had to learn to appreciate those things. And
I agree. I started feeling humility. I mean, learning more about humility, being a caregiver, watching the folks I took care of. It made me feel more humble every day that I was with them, and definitely something I miss taking care of those folks when I had to retire, and I learned a lot from them.
those are the moments, I think, when you can look at, in a child's eyes, or an elderly person, and hold their hand, and those moments. Yes, you
Yes.
definitely feel it then.
All right. What about you, Miss Carol?
I think humility and gratitude go hand in hand.
Yes.
I think it's hard to have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
If you're humble, it's because you're grateful for what you have, and you don't feel that you're entitled to it, or it's what you should have, or and when you're grateful, you are humble, and you look around and you think, but for the grace of God, there go I, in certain situations. So I think if you can capture the essence of gratitude, I think humility will come with it.
Yes.
Yes. Very well said. Somebody just popped in down below here. Okay, here we go. I'll wait for a thumbs up, my friend. Miss Steve, she popped out. Uh-oh. She
All
may be
right.
having Johnny's ready. All
Johnny's
right.
ready?
Hey,
Johnny's
Johnny.
here.
Hi, Johnny.
Better late than never.
I'm just glad you're here, darling. And here's Dee back. Let us see if she can hang on here.
Yep. Let's see if she's got a thumbs up. And
When you're ready, Miss Dee, let us know. I am so honored. Look at these beautiful ladies up here. Honestly, I'm nervous. I know you're saying being humble is being calm, but man, I'm just all nervous. I got all these wonderful channels here. Dan, the mountain man, just walked in. What is going on? Are you ready to come up, Miss D? Thumbs up when you're ready, darling. Linda R, hello, and thank you for the super sticker. Is she ready to come up? Did I miss a thumbs up? Did anybody see that? Thank you so much, Linda R. Well, Nellie, tell us what being humble means to you.
I don't
What
know. It
happened?
said you rock right before asking.
Right.
That makes me humble right there. Rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll. That's what I'm talking about.
You know,
There-
I'm somebody that has experienced a lot of pain in my life. And so for me, humility is accepting not just my own pain, but other people's pain. And you were talking about, being a caregiver and caring for other people. And so I feel like, what's that? The word I'm thinking of. My brain, I'm having a brain fart, but it's
Compassion or
compassion, empathy. That's the word I was thinking of. Yes, having the empathy. I was really touched by Carol's video that she put out where she had come across a homeless person and then went back and gave a gift to her to help her improve her life a little bit. It's the kind things that it's like the random acts of kindness that people do. In fact, that's one of the things that really attracted me to Brian when we first started dating is he does those random acts of kindness just out of the blue for people. And that is always something that I felt like that comes from humility. That comes from the compassion. It comes from the empathy. Right. So that's what humility means to me.
Right. I think that's awesomely said. And what we had up there with Gracie, what she's saying there, yes, that is so true, guys. What about you, Johnny?
You know what? I think humbling to me is I am humbled every day with the blessings that I have. I feel like every single day I am blessed even beyond what I imagined was the day before. You know what I mean? I'm like between friendships and what I do at work, at the hospital, and at home.
And your gorgeous wife.
And my gorgeous wife. I don't even know if I even know like the true definition of I don't know how humbled I am. I don't know.
And I think, and even just how you're expressing yourself right now, it's like heartwarming.
Yeah.
Well, and even just when I moved into the van, I became more. It was humbling to me to be one. I was by myself more, and during all this COVID, by myself even more. And it's really made me look at myself, what I need to do better in life. Hello, and Box Van D is back down below. Let's see if we get a thumbs up with her. Hello, dear. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready. We'll wait for a thumbs up. But yeah, being by myself is caused me to examine myself more and realize what I've learned, how I was in the past made me who I am today. And I got some crawling on my back here. Oh yeah.
Is it Jacob?
No, Jacob's asleep. It was a little girl crawling on me. D, are you ready to come up, my friend? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, her thumb just went up.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, D.
Wow. What a panel.
It's
here.
not working. My internet is really messed up. It's not working.
Oh.
I'm trying, but it's not working.
I see you.
I see you.
I did too.
You can see me, but I can't. All I hear is the echo. I'm using the webcam and the computer. You can hear me, but my internet has been so screwed up lately.
Yeah.
She popped out. She popped out. Bob's Adventure just walked in, and so did Lucky Dog Productions moderator.
Yes.
Hello, guys. Thanks for being here.
Get this.
Back again. Try to pull her up again.
Excuse me for a minute.
But Carol, your video the other day was very awesome. That was a very heartwarming video. I loved it. I shared it out. I thought it was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's how, you know, my daughter has a heart. Every time she's special needs, but every time we pass a homeless person, she wants me to invite them home and, you know, bring them home so they can have a place to live. So, you know, I'm like, we can't really do this, but, you know, a really, really humbling experience for me was once my daughter and I were we were in the downtown area. And when I think about it, I think we were going to a musical. And there was a gentleman who was in the area and he had all the, you know, trappings of someone who was homeless. He had his basket with all of his belongings and a sleeping bag and everything. And so my daughter, she must have been about maybe 7, 8. She just walked up to him and she opened her purse and she had maybe 75 cents. And she took the 75 cents out and she extended her hand to give it to him. And he didn't take it. He looked at me and he said, you know, can she afford to give that to me? You know, in the humblest voice, kindest. And I thought, wow, here's someone who is, you know, has so little, but yet he's concerned about whether this child can give this really a pittance, 75 cents to him. And I thought that I've never forgotten that. And, you know, what kind of person must that be who is in destitute situation but still is concerned for someone else more than themselves? And I've always remembered that and thought, boy, if I could, you know, I'm not at that point, I have to admit, but I thought, boy, if I could be at that point, that would be quite a goal to reach. So I think, you know, seeing someone, a lot of times we see people who are in dire circumstances and we can't do anything. We don't have the means, or, you know, their situation is just so beyond any scope that we could even attempt to assist. But sometimes, once in a while, there's someone that we can do something not huge. Like I didn't go rent an apartment for her or, you know, buy her an RV, but something very small can have such a huge impact. And that's what I'm learning more and more, that small, someone on one of my comments said, you know, a little ripple in an ocean can make a big wave. And I thought that was a perfect way to put it, you know, and that was humbling to me, you know.
Right. That is very humbling for sure.
And you look at the times now with everything that's going on in the social distancing, that we're not getting as much of that human touch and bonding with each other, you know, and it makes you really look back, you know, and really just look back at those times as they were. And, you know, it's kind of missing. I think Gina said it in another live stream one day that she just needed a hug.
Yeah.
And, you know, something we took for granted probably for so long. And now today, today's society, you know, it's with what's going on, just how much even just a hug can do for us. And we're just grateful, you know, like I'm grateful just to be able to now, for us to be able to get on to YouTube and socialize with each other like we do now, and connect with each other. Just like we are now, and having conversations.
Because imagine how much more isolating it would feel if we didn't have the live streaming and the internet to be able to communicate right now.
Yep.
You know, and it's those little things that I think can make a person feel humble and grateful. Like Carol said, I think they really do go hand in hand, because having these opportunities to be able to communicate, to feel grateful for that opportunity, you know, is humbling.
Yes.
You know, I have a lot of people, well, I don't know about a lot, but several people have mentioned to me in comments that they're homebound. because of illness. So
Mhm.
I was like, wow. So it just we are, when you think about it, we're actually providing a service to people who are home, and that's humbling that someone who can't get out is looking to us to encourage them or to give them something to entertain them or something to get their mind off their worries, even if for an hour. That's humbling. And I think, when you think of it like that, it's a big responsibility.
Yes, definitely. So true. I agree with that. Because I think we've seen in several of our different live streams that each of us have had people come into the chat who just stumbled upon our live streams and just are like, wow, I just found y'all on here. This is what I really needed.
Right.
It's a place to join with others, maybe laugh a little bit. Just to be there and have that contact, whether it's just through this box. But
Well, I came into this community of YouTubers right as COVID started. But before
Oh,
COVID,
really?
I was in my van out here where I'm at now, way out, and I wasn't around anybody. And I was very lonely. And I am truly humbled by the people I've met on here, such as you guys, and I never feel alone anymore. It's weird having this connection with a computer or a picture, virtual thing. But it's amazing what it can do. And I always tell people, think about the people that cannot get out. If you have somebody in your life that that don't get to talk to people, call them, text them, mail them, email them, whatever. But send them something to let them know they're there and let them know that somebody's thinking, because there is nothing more than that feeling that you need that. And I scored a hug the other day down at the store. I mean, I accidentally bumped into this fella, and I mean, we both had masks on and everything, but I'm like, oh God, I'm sorry. And he was very cute. But anyway, he gave me a hug, and I'm
Are
just
you
like,
sure you
yes.
accidentally? Are you sure that was an accident?
Maybe not. Maybe subconsciously I bumped into him with his elbow, but he gave me the hug. That felt great, because normally it's just my cat hugging on me, and usually that's at dinner time. So, but yeah, that made my day. And just human touch is a big thing. And I mean, just a hand on the shoulder or a handshake. I noticed that when I took care of folks, just to walk up and put your hand on them and say, "How are you today, darling?" They would smile from ear to ear. I mean, just like, and that made me feel good, So
I think when this is all over or back to normal as much as is possible, I think they're going to find that the absence of touch is going to have the same kind of impact that, how you have people who have, when they live in a climate where there's no sun or it's rainy and, there's depression. I think they're going to find that they're already starting to do studies, and they're finding there's so long-term impact, long-term effects from this psychologically,
Right. Oh, I
Think
think
about
so
the
too.
people that are, when you go through the stages of development, and right now they're going through the crucial stages of development of their personality, of their, and it's altered because they're not outside. I'm talking about little kids.
Right.
It's going to be altered for years to come because they don't have that interaction at the playground. They don't have that interaction with grandma. They don't have everywhere they go, everybody's got masks on. They know nothing different. And when the time comes that we can, walk the streets again and give hugs again, and they're going to be like, "Mommy, what are we doing?" So.
Yeah. You wonder what the long-term impact is going to be to those children,
Oh, absolutely.
It's interesting you're talking about that, because I just had a conversation with my daughter yesterday about how she says that she's 36, and she says, "Mom, I remember when we didn't have a cell phone in the house, when we didn't have a computer in the house." She says, "I remember when, you wanted to play with your neighbor, you called him up on a regular house phone,
right?
And then you ran over there and went and played." or they came over to the house and played. She says, because she's trying to get pregnant right now. So she's got a lot of children thinking on her mind, and she says,
yeah.
what's it going to be like, Mom, if I do get pregnant and if I have a kid now? What is this face mask and the social distancing, is it going to last for the future? Is this a temporary thing? I don't know at this point, what the norm will be, but it's tough for her because she's seriously thinking about wanting to start a family. But gee, do I start a family right now?
That's probably a question a lot of people are asking, I bet.
Yep.
And I can imagine the scariness of even trying to start a family right now.
Well, because she's 36, she's up there in age, so she feels like her clock is ticking. It's not like she feels like she can wait 10 more years. So.
Well, and for me, because I'm not traveling at this point, my daughter is only 15, 20 minutes away from where I'm parked. And it's like she's scared to be around me because she works around the public, and therefore I can't be around my grandkids. And she's isolating now for 2 weeks, or trying to get in time isolating before Christmas, so I can at least come and spend time with them before Christmas or on Christmas. And it's just so weird to be this close to them and not be able to be there. And it's an odd feeling. I don't like it. And I mean, the more I think about it, sometimes I think about the not being around anybody, not shaking hands with people, not that social part of it. It feels almost apocalyptic. Like, is this what it's going to be? It's a sickening feeling of what we used to know is not going to be. And it just, I don't know. It just it changed everything. This pandemic has changed everything.
It has. It really has.
Not only that, but I don't know if I, right now, until we're vaccinated, I don't know if I'd try and get pregnant right now and then get the vaccine. Because if you do become pregnant and then get the vaccine, and 5 years from now we find out all these kids are going to have, like one of the girls at work said, 4 noses.
Yeah.
Which won't happen, but
she's got all that rolling around in her head. It's a tough decision.
Yeah, it's because if she, could she miss her window of opportunity?
Right, and she's only running on one ovary anyway. So she's already having difficulties.
Wow. Very difficult choices people are having to make these days,
Well, and the people that it seems like this, the people that it affects the most, the older people, or the people that are alone, or kids, or whatever, the sick people that do need that human touch. This has affected that so much. It's totally separated them. I mean, I feel it because I'm high risk and my daughter don't want to be around me. And I think about people that are very high risk, that are in nursing homes or whatever, and their families can't be around them. That's just sickening to me. Hey, Keith, BJ Thomas, what is going on?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this vaccine will be the answer and we'll get back to at least some semblance of normal. But, they're saying, depending on how long it takes, it could mutate, and if it's not, if everyone isn't effectively vaccinated around the world, it could mutate and we could be back in the same thing with a different strand.
Yeah. I think they've already found one mutation.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and they just found an animal, a wild animal that got it in Utah, mink in Utah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just seen that today.
Well, you know what? I think it's at the point that it's just like, you know what? I think more and more I knew it before, cognitively, but I didn't really accept it completely. But we have absolutely no control over so many things, and I think letting go and saying, I'm not in control, it's almost a relief, you know, to be able to say it, because trying to manage things that are unmanageable and you can't manage is very frustrating, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I know we've been separated from our grandkids. This will be a year now because of the border
Wow.
being closed. And,
Mm.
and that's hard because that bonding, I know we do the internet like we do the StreamYard and FaceTime,
Yeah.
but it's just so not the same.
No.
Yeah.
But
Hello, Thrifty Angela. Thank you
so
for coming
different.
in. Linda Barker. Hello.
And we have here. Oh, I think we hit that one already. Wow. So many different stories in the chat, seeing some of the things that have made some of the people in the chat humble.
Yeah, this one right here, what Gracie's saying. Yeah, lack of human touch and human, you will go downhill, I think, when you're older. Well, don't you think so, Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the
Absolutely.
problem is too, like assisted living and nursing homes, and these people are getting sick because, healthcare workers are bringing it in.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a secret. That's how they're getting it. There's
Yeah.
so many healthcare workers with it and you have to go to work, and these older people are getting it. And I tell you, our sickest patients, I think our sickest patients are between 30 and 60.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
So the most mobile patient, the most mobile people.
Yeah.
You know,
Really?
because
That
young
young?
kids,
30? Really?
yeah.
young kids can't go anywhere by themselves, so they're more limited. Older people are more limited, so people who can move about the most are the ones who are getting the sickest, from what you're saying.
Oh, wow. Lucky Dog Productions moderator says,
Oh.
may I ask for prayers for my younger brother Rick in hospital nursing home since June, terminal cancer.
wow.
Yes, prayers,
Have
my
you
friend.
heard of kidney terminal ulcer? Kennedy terminal ulcer. Oh, wait a minute.
Kennedy terminal ulcer. Ask if you heard of
Now,
Kennedy
who
terminal
I
ulcer.
can't see the comments, so who was that asking for prayer?
Sue.
Lucky Dog Sue.
Okay. I will add her to my prayer list.
Yes, definitely. But she was asking if you heard it.
His name is Rick. Carol.
It was Rick.
Her younger
Yeah, pray for
brother,
Rick.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Bob's Adventure, if I miss you when you come, hello, my friend. Thank you for being here.
And everybody in the chat too is saying some prayers as well. Some prayers.
Right.
But yes, definitely. I did see, and I don't remember where I see it. Sorry, I can't reference where I seen it, but where a nursing home, some of them are putting up some of the dividers with these glove things that you can go through like hands so you can actually hug your loved ones who are in a nursing home.
Wow.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that.
Connection. And I just thought that is amazing. If that is just something that can be implemented in homes all over, because just, my heart goes out to a lot of them who I could just imagine, if my mother was still alive and in a home and I wasn't able to just be there, besides a window but just
that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah. But I did see that, and that just really lifted my spirit to be able just to see that they were using the gloves through these plastic things both ways, and you're able to really reach out and around people. So
yeah, that is awesome.
That's very cool.
Well, I seen it one of the care facilities that I worked at here. A friend of mine still works there, and she sent me a picture of family members on the outside of the windows of the building putting their hands up on the window, and they'd roll up the resident to put their hands up, and I just thought, wow. I mean, yeah, that's just crazy.
And yet it's heartbreaking too.
In the bubble.
Yes, it is. It is hard. I after working, I did caregiving for 15 years, and they're already isolated when they're in like lockdown centers, memory care units. They're already isolated. Their families already have a hard time coming to see them because they don't understand it, and then now they can't come and see them, or they can kill them basically, and it's just sickening.
Right.
And the volunteers and extra activity programs are all on pause
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a hard
really?
tool.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense though, but wow.
Well, like
Right.
my friend was telling me, they have a lot of respite care at the one I worked at, and there's no respite care now. Bringing in somebody and letting them be there for a couple of
Mhm.
hours or a day or two, so the families can get a break. There's none of that now, and
You're going to have
the
you're going to have a lot of caregivers who are going to be breaking down because
yeah.
you know so often it happens that you have the caregiver taking care of a sick person, and then the
Mhm.
caregiver ends up sicker than the person they're taking care of because
Yeah.
they just, don't get a break.
Yeah.
Right.
My
We have
hat's off
programs.
to nurses and caregivers.
Mhm.
100%.
And
Well,
Johnny, and I don't know if you can relate, but I find that most caregivers are very humbling people. They do care so much for their patients. And as much as they may be feeling things inside or fear, scared, they're the least likely to put it out there. I mean,
Yeah.
you will see because they're trying to be strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
And they don't reach out, you know, but they all need hugs. They,
Right.
Yeah.
And
need to know
right now, right now they're at home being caregivers, they're at work being caregivers, and it's just emotionally and physically exhausting.
yeah,
And our hospital has this thing called Care for Caregivers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really, emotional support, or I mean, you can literally just call them and, they'll talk to you for 5 hours if you need to talk for 5 hours. So,
Wow.
yeah, I went through a lot of that being a caregiver, just dealing with folks that are passing from normal things, but a
mhm.
lot at once in a facility or whatever. It is, we had that set up too where you could call and talk to someone. But I think about Johnny, like people like Johnny and nurses, Johnny and Kelly, and they're dealing with death so much on a high level every day
Yeah.
right now. I
Mhm.
can't imagine walking out of a building, feeling that all day long. I can't imagine going home and having to deal with that. Johnny, I look up to you, man. You
You,
guys are amazing.
it's thank you. And it's not for me, it's not hard being at work
right.
because I know what I have to do, and patients that are there get it. They get it. They're
Mm,
like, I never understood it. I never got it. Family members that are out in the parking lot mourning because they can't mourn at the bedside get it. When
Mhm.
I go to like social media here,
yeah.
Facebook,
Mhm.
and people are trashing
Hmm.
the lockdown. They're trashing the well, it's not, these small businesses have to get back open. They don't get it. I mean, you can open your small businesses so that they don't, lose their home, but they're going to lose lives. I mean,
Right.
it's frustrating for me in my live stream. I've got people that come, and in the chat, I just can't even believe some of the comments. It's
Right.
like, come work with me one day, one shift,
Yeah.
come work with me. And
Right.
people don't get it. And I get that there are people having to live in cars like Carol did her video on. I get that.
Mhm.
But, would you rather be dead? I mean, I don't know. So
I
that's
think
hard for me. This is
I think
this is the hardest for me.
It's like being between a rock and a hard place for sure.
Yeah. I we literally have the funeral homes in my area are exhausted. They opened up the St. Louis crematorium. All the bodies go there. I mean, it's real. I
Mm,
mean, you can be sad over the loss of your uncle's brother's business or something. And Kelly was a business, a self-employed,
mhm.
and we get it. But yeah.
I think there are two things at play there. One is you have people who haven't really been, it's like trying to explain to someone the horrors of war. Unless you've been on a battlefield and you've experienced it, it's hard to understand. And so you have that with a person. I think many, not all of the people who are ranting and raving, but many are really fearful. They're fearful. They see their lives permanently altered and no hope of ever recapturing the life that they've worked very hard to have. So I think when you get in that situation, sometimes I can see how you could have. I know I've been in circumstances where I had tunnel vision, and I think this is one of those cases where people have tunnel vision because they're so focused on what they're losing that they
Right.
really can't see anything else. And I get that. I get that. It's people who are not losing, who aren't in that situation, who
Mm-hmm.
are that those are the ones I don't get. It's like you're okay, so why are you, someone who's circling the drain, I understand them being desperate, and
Oh
you
yeah.
know that someone else that I don't really get that.
Well, talking about when you got Johnny talking about in the hospitals and stuff, and uh, probably to me the most humbling experience I had is after I'd been a caregiver for a while. I started dealing mostly with hospice patients, and the first time I really sit and held somebody's hand, and
Mm,
I was sad. I was totally sad, but I was hiding it, and very fretful. She had no family. She was fretting a lot, and I just started humming Amazing Grace to her, and
mhm.
kind of singing it very softly, and she started calming down, and she gripped my hand, and within 30 minutes she passed. But it
Wow.
wasn't it that was humbling to me. It made me realize that everything else in this world is small. But
Right.
when somebody is at that moment and you're there with them, I mean, now, by the time I quit caregiving, it was like I felt it a privilege that I was able to be with them. Um,
Right.
it was a privilege to me to help them cross over. Uh, and I mean, I hope they help them. And so, yeah, it is always sad, but I always told myself if I ever stopped feeling that compassion, I would quit. But I never did. But that was probably the most humbling experience in my life to me. It made me realize everything else is small. That was huge to me.
Mm-hmm.
Puts everything in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
definitely.
nothing else mattered. And then and doing that job, there was a time that I was going at battle with a hospice that wasn't treating the patient right.
Mm,
If I would have stood up anymore at that point, they were going to suspend me. And I went home and I told my daughter, I said, I have a choice. I can stand up for what I truly believe is right. I'll probably get suspended, maybe fired, which, we live paycheck to paycheck. She said, Mom, you got to do what's right for that human right there, that person. And I said, I just wanted to make sure it was good with you first before I did it, because if I lose my home, you're going to lose it too. And she said, do it. And I realized then my child she was humble, and I
mhm.
went at it full force. I did get laid off, but I got hired back. But uh, it was seeing a child come into that on their own was amazing to me.
Well, I don't think she came into her own. I think you had a big impact on that. You know,
Maybe,
watching
but
you. I mean, just the fact that what you're explaining and sharing that the decision you had to make. Our kids watch us,
yeah.
and they emulate us. So clearly, she didn't
Mm-hmm.
come to it all on her own. She had it in her, but you helped to foster that.
Well, I hope I did. I'm pretty proud of her. She's a
Did.
good kid.
I tell my kids all the time, growing up. Sometimes when I talk about this stuff that I think are humbling experiences, sometimes I'm on the opposite end of it, where I like I never ever want to sound like it's a boasting type thing. So, but I
Yeah.
tell my kids all the time that when you do for others, when you give selflessly, when you when there's no motive for whatever it is that you're doing, God rewards you tenfold. And literally spent a lifetime of doing construction and building houses and roofing and teaching people how to do it, and God rewards me. It's so humbling how much I've been rewarded in return, um just by being able to do new talents or whatever. But so my kids, I tell them that all the time, that God will reward you. Not that you need a reward, but it happened. That's how God
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And we were in Chicago, and if you've ever been to Chicago, it costs about $40 to park. So once you get parked, you really don't want to move your car because
Right.
it's $40 on that. So we did a lot of walking in Chicago. There's a lot of homeless people in Chicago, so that are on, basically downtown Michigan Avenue area.
Mhm.
So my daughter says, "Can I give that guy $1?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And we had peanut butter crackers. I said, "Give him some peanut butter crackers too." We were not 2 blocks away, and my daughter found a $5 bill. That's that's how God. I mean, I am a firm believer. That's how God is.
That's
And
right.
she's like, "Can we take that $5 and go buy more peanut butter crackers?" I mean, like,
Wow.
it's just, you know,
Oh,
That's great. But yeah, I caregiving was definitely one of the most humbling experiences for me in my life. And
yeah.
when my baby was born, that was very humbling too. That was amazing. But yeah,
I
yeah.
have a question I want to ask you guys. And I don't know, maybe everyone's has a different experience, but do you feel like since you came into van life, and I'm not full time, but in van life, that you've made more friends than you had before?
yes,
Yeah.
yep,
That's how I feel. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. And I was telling someone, I said, "Oh, my friend." They said, "Well, where?" I said, "Oh, friend, I know them, from YouTube." They said, "Well, how can that be a friend? How can it be a friend you just know them for YouTube?" But you can really develop friendships, and you can get to know a person digitally. You wouldn't think so. It sounds like it goes against reason, but you really can, I think, develop relationships that can, last a very long time with people you meet online.
Yes.
yeah. I never would have believed it by last December. A
Hmm.
year ago, I never would have believed that I have friends now that I do due to YouTube. I never ever, would have believed that.
Hmm. But
Not and friends that would literally, like, you know, do anything for you.
Right.
Like,
Yes,
hey,
yeah,
hey, I need you to talk to me all night long. Can you do that? Absolutely.
yes,
You know,
yeah.
yes.
I
Yeah,
I
for
wonder
sure.
if I was wondering, is it COVID impacting us? Is it that it's more intense when I was just wondering, what is it about meeting people and developing friendships online that is it that it's a community? I'm just wondering, and maybe it's all of those things, but it just, there's something really special about this community.
Yes, yeah,
I think some of it's shared interest for sure.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
then, we all have different personalities and we all
Yeah.
have different goals. But I feel like we all are, like, this is just the most support that I've probably received from even family members, this
This
community.
this particular community that we're here that we're talking about is a huge supporting community because I've tapped into a couple of other communities.
Mhm.
There is not this kind of support.
Is
and
it that a certain kind of person, is it that it takes a certain personality to want to be involved in van life? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe it's a certain person that's maybe kind of like a pioneer spirit, but
Mhm.
but but wanting to help other people, and there's got to be. I'm wondering what the common element that makes it so.
well,
I think like the simplicity.
There
Excuse
I
me, I'm going to
think
get a tissue for my
like
nose.
yeah, I think
simplicity.
that like the things that we left behind,
Mhm.
isn't what makes or break your day. The time that you share with people, and that's what and I know I get a lot of like I have a lot of thoughts of, like, because I know people think that I'm not suffering in the van. It's a nice build out, whatever. But my goal is that a simpler life,
Yeah.
like I want to drive all the way to Arizona and not spend a dime except for gas. I want that simple life.
Right.
I'm making this nice because I have the means to do it. I mean, COVID built this van because I worked my butt off,
Right.
Yeah.
but anyway.
I just wondered, because it seems like the friendships become deeper faster. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally, totally different. The friends I have met on here, I can say, are amazing to me. I mean, I've maybe only had one or two friends in my whole life, 55 years, that I would compare to the friends I've made on here, and
Wow.
and I have had more support from people on here than I have in life, and it's given me happiness and a feeling of that you're wanted or liked or needed
Mhm.
in some
That
way.
you belong. That
That
you
you
belong.
belong. That would
It's a
be the word.
sense of belonging.
Right, right, totally.
Yeah.
And for me, the word simplicity came along with that when I realized that my health was horrible and I didn't know I was going to make it. It was like, okay, I want to take whatever time I have left and live where, before living in sticks and bricks, I couldn't jump in a car and just go anywhere I wanted because I couldn't afford the insurance on the car. I
Yeah.
couldn't afford the car. Now I own this and I can drive it wherever I want. And so
Right.
Right.
that the part of being alone in it helped me learn more about myself. And then finding people on here has taught me more about myself and more about what a real friend is.
Mhm.
People that inspire you or people that lift you up to say, hey, you can do this, or hey, think about it before you do it, type thing. And I value my friendship with people on here as much as I do friendship with people in person.
And where
I really agree with Gracie here. I fall into that belief as well. People come into our lives for a season, a reason, and some stay for a lifetime.
That's true. I'm
Yeah.
glasses so I can read the ones that I can't read the comments except for when they're posted. So I'm gonna look and see.
Hello, Happy Place. Hello, Camille Tyler. Thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it's the one community that we can all go to. And I would say that where else can you go and share your fate, your challenges that you failed in? And I mean, and we're all just there to help each other.
Yeah.
Just allows us to accept those challenges, I guess I could say, without fear. Because we're just there to help each other. And we've all had those same failures and challenges. For some of the crazy things that we have all done and mistakes, we put them out there to share them with everybody else.
Well, and I think there's all factors to being humble. There was one I was reading. There's a couple of little quotes I read. It being humble is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. I love that. That is perfectly said, I think. And
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
and another one that I was talking about is being humble is not that you win and cause someone else to lose, but that you come together and collaborate over it. And there's plenty of opportunities for all of us. And so I'm a competitive person, and thinking that way it's hard for me. I'm learning how to do it as I go. But I definitely like the quote of being humble is not thinking of yourself less, but thinking or thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less.
Right. I think I'm a very competitive person, especially with my brothers, because we play games and we do, at Christmas we have different challenges, and but I think that what I'm learning is to compete against myself, is to have, I'm the competitor that I'm striving to do better than I did yesterday or
Yes.
did better than I'm doing today. So instead of looking to other people rather and measuring myself by them, measure myself by what my progress is against.
Right.
Am I doing better today than I did yesterday? And I think that's the way for a competitive person to maybe channel that competitiveness.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And
Oh
I
yeah.
just think with this too, that we all need to take a time just to step outside our doors too, and just take in, the wonders of all the beauty and stuff that's outside and all the beautiful things that are on in the world, and just let people know, how much you appreciate them. And
Mhm.
Yeah, this time of year and this time of this year happening, it's good to let people know how much you love them, whether you can see them or not, and or touch them or not. To let them know how important they are. We all need that.
And I think, Gina, you're doing a show Christmas Day. So if anybody doesn't have
Yep.
anything to do Christmas and wants to spend some time with somebody,
Yep, I'm going live at 12, and anybody that don't have somebody to hang with, or just home alone, or just want to be there and chat, we'll be up. We'll listen to music and chat about whatever you guys want to.
Very cool.
Cool.
yeah.
If you're hearing snoring, it's because my dog is snoring.
I assumed it was Teresa's house.
Well, I will tell you, Johnny, we had took Winnie to the vet, and come to find out, she is a very bad diabetic.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
She's now on insulin twice a day after she eats. She
Ooh.
has
Oh,
lost
my
weight,
goodness.
and she is no longer Winnie the snoring dog. She is Winnie with lots of youth, and she's Winnie the barking dog.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yay.
I'm glad to hear she's doing so much better.
She is doing so well.
Wow.
Talk about being grateful and humbled and all of that like that. I mean, it's just amazing the difference that has made. So
Wow.
the 5 o'clock alarm clock, doctor said feed her at 7. Well, she's insisting on being fed at 5.
Oh, my goodness.
That's great. She's feeling a lot better. That's awesome.
Yeah. How old is Winnie?
Winnie's 15.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
feeded her dog ears. Nope, not boring me. I said, who would put that in there? Keely said, I thought we were boring you. No, hon.
Hello, Michael McReynolds. Thank you for coming in. And guys, we're going to end the show soon. And if Quebec Homestead is still live, would somebody drop a link for her? I would like to rate her.
Okay, let's see if we can say Quebec.
Yes, I would like to rate Quebec. And ladies, I want to thank all of you for coming. I am honored and humbled that you guys come and spend this hour with me. You guys are amazing people. All
Thank
of
you for having us up here. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would say no to you, Gina.
Oh, I was all nervous. I was about to say something, and to be honest, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm going to say something wrong. Oh my god, I've never had a panel before.
Can we say a quick congratulations to Carol?
Yes, we can.
Carol has been rocking it,
Yep.
and this morning I woke up and I looked at Carol's channel before I even looked at my own,
Oh, my
because
goodness.
she has got those two. I mean, congratulations, Carol. Well, I love to see somebody from our, little community and it just going crazy.
Nice.
Came together,
Congratulations, Carol. Hey, and
Sometimes
we
it
need,
just
we need to
happens,
congratulate Gina, because aren't you like only 9 away from hitting 2,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're in this chat right now and you're not subbed, do
Thank
it.
you.
Get her to
Wow.
that 2,000.
Thank you guys.
That's a big, big number.
MB
Yeah, it
Heritage, thank you. MB Heritage Farms, thank you guys. You guys are all
Yep.
amazing people.
And
Yeah.
Gina didn't you help get me to that? I think I went on your live, not on your live, went on one of yours, and you had people come up, and I forget what number, but it was one of those numbers. You reached out, and your fan base, your lives got me over the hump.
Nice.
Oh, well, good. I remember that. I think it was either the 2,000 hump or maybe the 5,000. It was a high number.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't 5,000. I think it was.
2,000.
I think it was 2,000.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I
'cause
think it
we
was the
talked
first
about
time I
that.
met you, maybe on the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. The very first time we met you, and
Yeah.
I had thought because that day was the day that I'd said I'd like to do it by today, and I just happened to see your live, and I thought, well, it's kind of late. Well, it's not going to happen today, but that's okay. I got close, and then you got me over that mark.
Nice.
I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things to do, to get somebody over a little peak. That's awesome.
You did.
And a Saturday night, I've got some great young channels that I found. You guys will love them. So I hope
Cool.
you guys can be there Saturday night. Van life and some RV channels. So that's what Saturday night's going to be about, after RV on the Wayside. Don't forget Friday night campfire. Saturday Carol goes live, correct?
I think I'm not going to do it this Saturday. I'm going to put
Okay.
an announcement because I'm going to be, well, I'm supposed to be in courtside right now, but I was not sure what kind of reception I was going to get there. I've been hearing all kinds of things, so I thought I'm going to wait and go on your live and then head out once I do that, because
Right.
I wasn't sure what I would be able to do, but I'm not sure what it's going to be, and I don't want to be coming in and out and in and out,
Right.
So
Gotcha.
unless there's someone is someone want to do a 3:00 on Saturday, but if not, I think I'll just, prepare for the next week, because I had said, I had said a couple weeks ago when I had a giveaway, our next one will be 7,500. And I thought, well, it'll be a couple months, or, a month or so. And it happened. So I got to prepare for that. So I think I want to prepare for that,
Well,
so.
thank you guys again for being here. I'm going to shut it down. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I love you all. Thank you for being a part of the journey. And
Bye, everyone.
And
we'll
thanks,
see you guys.
Vanderella, for letting Johnny come up here on their anniversary weekend.
I know.
Yeah, happy anniversary, Johnny.
Thank you,
And Kelly.
Vanderella.
Thank you, Vanderella. We love you too, lady. All right, guys. We're going to end the show here, and we will talk to you on the next one.